very precious lifetime with me this morning too. Let's say thank you to Admirals that we can make this every morning. My name is Markus. My mother in the back today is Anna. Wonderful good morning. So, and we stream this show on YouTube at the same time. And if you watch it on YouTube or maybe later as a recording, then you will find a button in the right corner. You can subscribe to the channel. You can give us a like if you want, you know, this thumb up, or you can leave a comment if you want that we talk about something else, or if you have any wishes, something else, what is in your mind, then leave a comment below this video. Okay, so let's start into our trading day, and let me share my screen. So then the chat. Great. So Mike, Sawadee Khap. Good morning, Hartmut, Plumman, good morning, Marie-Louise, wonderful good morning. We see each other this afternoon. Johan, good morning, Albert also. Yes, if you have any questions, feel free. And Mihai, wonderful good morning. So, and of course on YouTube, everybody is warm welcomed here from my side. So let's see what we can do today. The upcoming events for today is Eurozone Service PMI. It's expected at 9 o'clock, 9 a.m. German time, by the way. Then Ian, wonderful good morning. Then the ADP National Employment Report. It's a kind of prediction for the employment report on Friday, the first Friday always in the month. And this afternoon, as always, as every Wednesday, is the oil status report. So that's everything for today. If you want to have more information about something else, then is this your site, admiralmarkets.com/analytics. And if you have a live account of Admirals, then you can go to log in, and then you have access to much more valuable content in the premium account. But here in the free account of analytics, you will find top news about morning briefing, something like Chinese tech stocks fall in Hong Kong amid tighter regulation, for example, or about at a glance, yeah, something like this. Evergrande unit seeks to delay Chinese yen bond repayments, something like this. If you're interested in this information, this is your site, by the way. And we have much more to tell and to share with you, especially this afternoon. We expect from Jens the webinar, My Favorite Trading Indicators for 2022 at 2 o'clock Europe, London time, by the way. And if you want to be best informed, then you should subscribe the channel of Admirals on Telegram. Here you see, there is the link for today's session, by the way, and you see a lot of more about Tesla. Yesterday was interesting. Then something like this. So you're interested in this information, then go to Admirals on the Telegram channel. And of course, by the way, the old and good old Twitter account of Admirals, by the way, and my own. If you want to follow me there, then my name is Daytrader70. As you can imagine, that's my birthday year, by the way. So let's go to our charts, and feel free to ask whatever is in your mind. I can see the chat here on YouTube and of course on Zoom. So Thomas, wonderful good morning and welcome in the show here. Love it to see you here. Okay, so let's go, and as always we start with the DAX trade, and the DAX trade was finished this night with 160 points profit with the rest of the position. The first position size brought us 31 points, and the second one, the last position size was 160 points. I think it's really, really cool. Yeah. So this can happen if you let it go and if you do your job as a private trader. Okay. So actually on the right side of the chart in DAX 10 minutes, there is a downtrend. Now this downtrend is a bit in the correction, and I have a new pending order at the point 2. because after this strong move to the upper side in last hour, I have to admit that maybe there's just a bit correction, and maybe we see a new uptrend, because actually I can list, if I listen to the chart, then I have to confess, okay, it's really strong for the moment, but it's a downtrend actually. Therefore, in case the downtrend will continue, and by the way, the point of control is down at 15,941 euros by one future contract, then I have to admit that the point that the price will going lower, and then I'm in. So therefore, give a little bit space. I have my pending order at the point 2. So we have a wonderful trading index, and you see it's really profitable if you do 2 things: never miss a signal and make your job. So what is your job as a private trader? Yeah, draw the trend properly, which is you can learn, then find a signal, then make your entry, calculate your money management in a stage that you are not getting emotionally. Then if you have a close above the last point 2, which means we have a trend continuation, then you can make a partial profit and then let it go until the market decides the trend is over, or we have a contrary trend. Actually, on the right side of the chart, we have a contrary trend. The old trend, the main trend, is over, and now we have a downtrend, which is the main trend. So, and now we have to wait what happens. So we are staying on the sideline. And oh yeah, Anna, thank you very much. Oh yes, I almost forgot. Very cool, very cool. 850, right? 850. Okay, I pushed the speed. So let's go to our focus charts. And we start with Bitcoin. Oh, that was wrong. Sorry. That was stupid. So here we go. There I want to go. So let's start with Bitcoin. Okay, so in Bitcoin, nothing happened. You see, it's still not a valid trend. So actually, there is nothing to do. Dow Jones is still in a wonderful uptrend, as you can see here. And now in a correction, but for us, the trend is too old. There is nothing to do. In DAX 40 now in 4-hourly chart, it's also the uptrend, but it's also too old. And actually, there is nothing to do. Let's go to British Pound USD. Same trend is literally too old. We are waiting for a new trend and a new signal. Then we have the gold price, and the still too old. You see, it's the third correction. The best entry was in the second one. So actually in gold, for me, there is nothing to do. Okay, so before we come to our running trades, I want to ask you the question of today. And Emna, if you are ready for Rumble, because my question for you today is how many markets you should trade. So I have three options. First option is just one market, or more than one market, or as many as possible. So what do you think? How many markets should you trade as a private trader? What's your private opinion about this? And while you're doing this, we go to our running trades, and we start with Australian dollar, Canadian dollar. So it's a short position. The long position is closed with a wonderful profit, by the way. And now we have an open short position because we have a downtrend. So nothing to do for the moment. Let it run. Australian dollar, Swiss franc. We have, by the way, an open long position. On the right side, the correction is running in its own trend, by the way. So we have to leave a little bit carefully. Maybe we can open a contrary position, a hedging position on the lower side, because the trend is valid here on the right side too. So be careful. And I will, let's see about the Fibonacci. Okay, we corrected more than 38%, which means we can open a contrary position here below this balance candle in case that the price will going down. This is Australian dollar, Swiss franc. Okay, then we have, yeah, Swiss franc, Japanese yen. My fault, not the worst fault, by the way. It's a positive fault because I'm out. Why? I've forgotten to trail my target far away. So now I am out with a wonderful and lovely trend, with a wonderful, lovely trade. Really, really awesome. So what a wonderful, profitable trade. So, but if you are still in, please let it go. Let it go. I have to wait for a new signal right now. Okay. So then Canadian dollar, Swiss franc. Yeah, we are safe. There is nothing to do. We saved half of the position already. Point of control is far away and the trend is still running. Actually, there is nothing to do. Euro USD actually in loss, but we hit our soft stop, but no close. So there is nothing to do. Just let it go. Are you nervous? Then you have to calculate your money management, because money is the point what's crucial in trading. British pound, Australian dollar, lovely trade. We are bidding correction and up to continue the trend. Nothing to do. Sit on your hands. There is nothing to do. We saved already half the position. No, 75% of the position because we are trading away from point of control. Just let it go. Okay, British pound, Swiss franc. Fine. We saved half the position. Trend continuation is there. Soft stop is a bit higher below the last underneath 0.3 here. Just let it go. New Zealand dollar, Swiss franc. Yeah, we have two positions open, a long position in case that the main trend will continue, but also the short position because it was the second trend arm. And I always have to admit that we see a trend continuation to the lower side. Then we stop the main trend with a close below the purple line, and then we continue with the downtrend. And US dollar, Canadian dollar, yeah, wonderful and lovely. We reach point of control. We are safe because we saved half the position, 50%, and the soft stop is below the last 0.3. And now, yeah, we have to wait what happened on the right side of the chart. And then finally, New Zealand dollar, US dollar. It's a short position. And at the same time, I have a pending order for a possible long that the main trend, which is the green one, by the way, will continue to the upper side. So we have to be prepared for both sides. It's not interpreting, it's not analyzing, it's just listen to the chart, what he is talking to you. And in this case, we have two trends and we have to trade two trends because we don't know and we cannot know which trend will continue on the lower side or on the upper side. We will see. And finally, we opened the long position in crude oil yesterday because it's an uptrend. It's the correction of the downtrend, by the way. It's an uptrend and we have to do this. So the correction is over. And therefore, I set a pending order and I'm in crude oil for continuing this trend to the upper side. And this is what I shared in the in Trader's Yacht yesterday. Okay, so and there is just only proposal for today. This is in Australian dollar, US dollar, and this is here. Okay, so what is it? It's a downtrend. And why is it? I can tell you. So first trend arm is this one. So, and with the move to the lower side, we have a new trend. And now we are in the correction. deeper than 38, and therefore balance candles, and we can go lower. So, but now we realize, okay, there is a second balance candle in a row, which means listen to the chart. Okay, maybe they don't want to go down, which means, okay, delete the order again, or maybe put it a little bit lower until the moment the candle is over at 11 o'clock, then we can give a little bit more space. Yeah. By the way, the point of control is on the upper side, and maybe we will get a new uptrend, by the way. But for the moment, it's a short. That's my proposal for today. Okay, we have a special guest today, and we invited our wonderful and congenius partner and trader, our one and only Jens Klatt. Wonderful. Good morning, Jens. Are you there? Turn on your micro, then I can hear you.
Hello, hello.
Hello, 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 Jens. Wonderful. Good morning.
Wonderful. Good morning, Markus. Nice to be here. Thanks for having me.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year for you and your family too.
Oh, yeah. Once again, it's time. Yeah. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you and to all of the attendees here. Yeah. Nice to have you. Oh, by the way, so you can see me here. Here I am.
Yeah. Let me show you.
Oh, no. 1 second. Now. Hey.
Yeah, here you go. Yeah, wonderful. Good morning. You
Good
look
morning.
great as always. I don't know how do you do it. Maybe you have some secrets about that.
Yeah, it's a good barber, you know. That's his,
okay. Or maybe it's you have
secret.
kids, right?
Yes, that's why I lost my hair.
Okay, so great, Jens. How was your start into this trading year?
It was quite nice. So you probably have seen the drop in Tesla. I listened to what you presented and what we were talking about. So yesterday we had a drop there, but I think the last week of December or so, there was a sharp push higher back above 1,000 USD per share. And the drop here, I bought the dip. So I was very thankful for I think it was Elon Musk's tweet initially, which
as always,
yeah. So the push lower and saying that he's selling something like 10% of his shares or so. And then we saw a correction of something like 30%, but I think this the overall outlook for the company is still quite strong, and deliveries presented some nice numbers too. That was on Sunday, if I'm not mistaken, and that was the catalyst for the very strong drive higher into the year. So yesterday we saw a push, but this is, by the way, one thing. So with the push higher, and yesterday the corrective move, I think it was driven by developments in yields. So I could imagine that today with ADP numbers and I'm not sure. Is non-manufacturing today a topic? I'm not really sure. Let me just have a look here. No, it's ISM non-manufacturing is tomorrow. So in the evening, it's a FOMC minutes. So let's see if numbers continue to accelerate the inflation pressure, let's say. That could probably be of interest, and not just for the tech sector and then tech stocks in general, but also for gold probably. So you just said that you don't have a trade right now in gold, or waiting for a new signal.
Yes, in gold, yes. Just the trend is too old for me. My entry is in the second trend arm, so I don't interpret. I just trade my signal. That's all.
Okay, yeah. I mean, let's see. I to be honest, I'm a little bullish for gold, to be honest. So
me too. By the way, me too. Yeah.
So I could imagine, and I think the line in the sand is somewhere around 1,830. So that's 835 probably. That's a line in the sand. I think if we can make it above there and then hold, then that will be very interesting. By the way, do you look at seasonal patterns in your trading?
Just only if I trade commodities in daily chart, then I have a look at the patterns like seasonals or COT report for at the best.
Oh, that's interesting, because right now this is one of the most bullish environments seasonal wise we find ourselves in precious metals in general. I think it's not just gold but also silver and that stuff.
Yeah, let's see. Jens, you have a wonderful webinar this afternoon, and people are completely excited because I know you have secret indicators for 2022. Can you give us a little bit of hand what we can expect this afternoon from you?
Yeah, so usually I'm very similar, or trading very similar to Marcus' style. So indicators usually are not of that interest for me, but there's still 3, 4 I over time have a look at, respectively. Sometimes when trading automated strategies, then I use the signals from these indicators to generate a trade signal. And the indicators I use, they nevertheless, they correspond quite well with my overall trading approach. So one is, for example, the parabolic stop and reverse. It's a trend following indicator, very similar to the super trend, for example. So I love to use the super trend indicator. Shall I share my screen, by the way?
Yeah, you can share your screen. Give me, I don't know if it's possible. If not, that this is part of Anna this morning.
So
yeah,
there we go. Yeah, so this is the
good.
webinar. Yeah, so you can see here, there's already a list, the parabolic stop and reverse, and these are, I may make it quite simple and rough here. So the dots you can see on your chart, if you insert the indicator from your platform, so you can go to the MetaTrader, and then here you can go to insert indicators, and there it's a standard indicator you can find under trend. So it's here, the parabolic SAR, and I can probably just do it that way. So you have plenty of dots here, the blue ones, and it's a complete trading system, in fact, a trend following system, which works extremely well under trend conditions here. So you once you trade above here, the lines, a signal is generated, and once here there's this switch, let's call it that way. So it's there's a switch in the trending conditions. So once here this wick is pushing through this dot, you start a long position. In fact, it's a very rough system, but again, if the trend is strong, then it's sometimes not that important where you enter the trade, even though I think we disagree, or we agree that the entry in the trade is important based on the risk reward ratio. But to make long thing short, it can be a very solid fundament also from a risk money management perspective here to enter trades based on these dots, in fact. And I give you some insights on how I use these dots in my trading to enter trend following trades, even though, as I already pointed out, risk reward ratio, and sometimes it's not that optimal to get into a trade here. There's also kind of a, let's call it, optimization process taking place. And therefore, I'm using 2 other indicators, oscillators in this case, respectively, a momentum indicator, another one, the MACD. Some of you probably have heard about it. It's a move, it's a moving average. It's a moving average divergence indicator. So to give you an idea, and then also the slow stochastic here. So giving you overextended modes on the up, respectively on the downside. So once you're, let's call it, overbought, respectively oversold, even though, as we know probably, a trend can stay way longer intact than an indicator stays, let's say, rational and bounces back, but can be overextended for quite a while. And using all these indicators, in fact, and combine them, this is a solid base you can formulate a sometimes nearly fully automated trading system on. And this is exactly what today's webinar will be about. So it's not just an introduction into these basic indicators. You can find all these 3 in the MT5, by the way. So it's standard indicators, but it's a way to combine them and then build a trading system based on them and how to use them. And this is, in fact, what today's webinar is about, respectively, what you should have a focus on, or I recommend having a focus on in your trading in 2020.
Cool stuff. So I get people are getting excited to hear you this afternoon about this specific and secret combination of these all trades. So a private question for me: which time frame is yours? Do you have a special time frame you're trading?
Oh, I think it depends. So in this case here, it's I can say usually what I try to do is it's like it's a swing trading approach when it comes especially to FX pairs. So I don't really like to, let's say, scalp in a very short period of time in the FX market. But this is also true for precious metals. And the reason for that is because I love to play, let's say, puzzle, and I love to take also macroeconomic events into my trading and my trade decisions. And even though sometimes, let's say, Fed is announcing, I don't know, interest rates will stay the same, but we will double the pace of the taper. This is exactly the statement we saw around 1 month ago, 3 weeks ago. Even though we see elevated volatility during that time, I don't like to jump into the action, but take the overall trend you get to see based on that. So the macroeconomic impact. But it's, for example, so this is the FX precious metals part, where I usually use H1 to H4, so the hourly to the 4-hour chart. When I trade stocks, for example, I love to really intraday trade them and don't try to avoid holding positions overnight. And the reason for that is that you have a risk of overnight gaps, and this is very difficult to calculate risk based on that, which then means I don't really like to keep a position overnight, or at least small portion of it. And close most of the position already intraday. Sometimes it's nearly 100%. But if I keep a position because I have a strong a view on a stock, for example, and I say, well, we closed strong, for example, and I expect the market gapping higher tomorrow, then I sometimes keep a small portion. But most of the time here, I trade M1 to M5, in fact, so very, very short term. Yeah.
We have a question of today, and I'm interested about your private opinion. The question of today is, how many markets should you trade as a private trader? What do you think? One more, or as many as possible? What do you think?
So this is, in fact, a very fascinating question when it comes to my trading. So, in fact, I'm a very focused guy, and if I focus on one market, sometimes it can go very extreme, and it can be really exhausted at the end of the day. Still, for example, over the last days, for example, I was also focusing on 2 other markets, but I don't try to trade too many markets, because then it starts to overwhelm me. So I think it's a very individual question. So I know, for example, guys who are, let's call them trading nerds, and they are trading, let's say, 10 markets without a problem, because they are such quick thinkers, and they just they just execute. So they are in their zone, and they don't feel comfortable once they have not at least 5 markets open at the same time and are in the action. But this is not my style of trading. So I'm more the, let's say, analytical guy. So the guy who's really trying to focus on one market, sometimes 2, if I'm in a good mode and I didn't have stress with my kids, but I want to stay in my let's say, how can I say that, in my zone as a father.
Be careful.
I need stress. Then I sometimes open 3, but 1, 2, 3. This is usually the number of markets I'm watching in my trading.
Lovely, lovely. Very well, Jens. Thank you very much for your introduction, and we are really excited and looking forward to see you in the webinar this afternoon. Thanks for your visitation here in our morning briefing show. I'm looking forward to see you next time too. I wish you a lot of success for today and for your webinar this afternoon. I'm quite sure a lot of people will visit you and will join this session this afternoon too. Thanks a lot for your precious lifetime, and I wish you, and of course all of you guys, a lovely, lovely trading day. Thanks for being here. We see each other tomorrow again, 8:30. And as always, have courage and be kind, and may the force of the rules be with you. See ya tomorrow.